There's this article on the Huffington Post that gives a positive answer to the question, do men hate women? I'm not going to attack the person who made this article because anyone can be misguided and have a warped point of view. Besides, it's rude. Let's begin evaluating the article. Do men hate women? It's a question I ask myself every day. My friends say, June, men don't hate women. That's extreme. But when a father rapes his daughter, when a husband kills his wife, and when an uncle trades his nieces for some sort of a dowry, I find myself asking my friends, is that not hate? Why else would such crimes be committed against women and girls if men didn't hate us? When 1,400 women and girls between 1997 to 2013 were sexually abused in Rotherham and their voices were ignored, is that not hate? When as a result of male violence, 2 women are killed in the UK every week, is that not hate? This week, Emma Watson delivered a beautiful speech on feminism and soon received threats from men about leaking her nudes. Is that not hate? When girls are called slags and sluts, bitches and cunts, is that not hate? Number 1. Committing a horrid crime against a woman, or anyone for that matter, does not necessarily mean that you hate the person. Many criminals commit crimes for various reasons. It doesn't automatically mean that they hate you. Frequently, they just don't care. Hatred and indifference are 2 entirely different things, though the 2 can and sometimes do overlap. Number 2. So, you've decided to generalize all men based on a criminal or insufferable minority? That doesn't sound valid. Number 3. I'm quite sure that the majority of people who slut-shame women are women. This doesn't make it any less of a problem, but it's something to keep in mind. Most men don't care about whether or not a woman is a slut. Number 4. Ironically, men are more likely to attack other men than women. For example, have you seen what many men would do if a man even lays a hand on a woman? Then gang up on him and beat him to a pulp. If men hate women, they certainly have a funny way of showing it. In our society, men are scared of vaginas. This fear of vaginas has led to men obsessively controlling and hating women. Sometimes I wish men would stop obsessing about my vagina. The key word here is my. My vagina belongs to me, not to a man. Men hate women simply because we have vaginas instead of penises. That is a fact. No, it's not actually. You aren't accurately describing society. Most men do not hate or fear women. In fact, it's just the opposite. Men are often willing to do whatever it takes to please and satisfy women, even if it means throwing other men under the bus. I'm not a man-hating feminist. I'm simply saying the facts. Men are so threatened by women that they are willing to go to extreme lengths to control us and hate us so that the system of patriarchy thrives and continues. That viewpoint doesn't exactly line up with reality. Also, while you may not be a man-hater, your ideology most certainly is man-hating. Approximately 140 million women and girls worldwide have gone through female genital mutilation, FGM. These women have experienced the most serious forms of violence against women because men want to stop them sleeping around and preserve virginity. These women were made to endure this barbaric practice because men were scared of, obsessed with, and wanted to control vaginas. These women have been forced to go through this practice because men hate the idea of a woman who can claim and control her sexuality. I cannot deny that many women have FGM forced on them, but in the very same link that you provided in this paragraph, the article also states the following. FGM happens to women and girls in adolescence, childhood, and even sometimes when she is a baby. It is seen by some as a rite of passage into womanhood and a condition of marriage. Some believe that vaginas need to be cut and that women will be unhealthy or unclean or unworthy if they don't have FGM. These beliefs are very strong and parents genuinely think that they are doing the right thing for their daughters. In other words, some women even agree to this practice of FGM. Again, that doesn't make it any less of a problem, but to say that FGM happens too often just because men want to control women is grossly oversimplifying the problem. A friend of mine once said it was appropriate for women to cover up from head to toe to prevent men cheating. I beg to differ. If men can't keep their penises in their pants when women walk by, why should a woman be forced to suffer because some pathetic little boy couldn't control himself? It's because a woman has a vagina that she's being told to cover up to prevent cheating. We wouldn't say the same thing to men, now would we? One questionable remark does not mean anything. Besides, there are women who actually do want to cover up. The oppression of women and girls by men is a pandemic stemmed from hate. Women in Nigeria experiencing domestic violence in their relationships are told to stay in their marriage because they were lucky they found a husband. Amina Filali, a 16-year-old Moroccan girl, was forced to marry her alleged rapist in order to preserve family honor. It was only when this judgment culminated in Amina committing suicide that Morocco was forced to act a law that allowed rapists to escape prosecutions if they married the woman they raped. I cannot believe that such a law would even exist. Surely that in itself is proof that men hate women. No, it only proves that some countries are far more corrupt than others. Also, many boys were killed in the Boko Haram incident in Nigeria, while many girls were kidnapped. Again, if men hate women, according to this logic, they certainly have a funny way of showing it, and even if they did, their hatred of women is certainly much less than their hatred of other men. Your post implies that men care more about themselves than they care about women. That is not, and has never been the case. The fear and obsession of vaginas and misogyny has led to heinous atrocities committed against women by men. In Iran, a woman's life is worth half a man's. At the age of 13, a girl can be legally married to a 70-year-old man. There is no sensible reason other than misogyny which would allow a woman to be legally worth half a man. Also, a 70-year-old marrying a 13-year-old is not marriage, it is statutory rape. I'm not disagreeing with this, as I have no knowledge of Iranian law, but you haven't told us how horribly men are treated under Iranian law compared to women. You, and the link you provided, are only telling half the story. In Egypt, after President Hosni Mubarak stood down, female activists were forced to undergo virginity tests. In other words, doctors raped women while they claimed to look for hymens. Is that not misogyny? Why else would we humiliate women in such a manner if we didn't have some sort of an intrinsic hate for them? In South Africa, one woman is killed by a man every 8 hours. That equates to 3 innocent women being killed by their supposed lovers every day. That, my friends, is hate. Again, you're generalizing. As we wait to see if Oscar Pistorius will be convicted of culpable homicide for murdering Rena Steenkamp. I'm sorry if I'm butchering names here. We must remember the thousands of women who will be killed as a result of male violence and the world which will never know their names. A man kills a woman and we are denying this very blatant fact. That is misogyny. Again, you're oversimplifying the problem. Not every murder is a result of hatred. It does not matter where you live. Misogyny exists and men are scared of and hate women. The power of women leads to so much fear that women are being oppressed and their rights are violated every day. It is sad that the potential of women and girls are being limited worldwide because they were not born with a penis instead. Actually, women in the West are doing quite well. They have more opportunities, protections, freedoms, and privileges than their Eastern counterparts. It is not as worldwide as you claim it to be. To achieve gender equality, we must eradicate the fear of women and vaginas. We must ensure that men do not control women, and we can no longer allow women to be treated inhumanely because men hate women. To get rid of the obsession with vaginas, we have to tell men not to obsess with our vaginas unless we have asked them to, and not to man up, but to respect the rights of women and girls. We need to teach our sons that women are not objects to be controlled, owned, and dominated by men. You've never actually proven that men hate women as a whole, you've only asserted it. We can do it. If we work together, we can end systems of patriarchy and misogyny. We can end the oppression, the fear, the misogyny, and the obsession to ensure women and girls are free, fearless, and have limitless opportunities. When we work together, we can stop men hating women, break systems of patriarchy, and achieve gender equality. Do you mean the same patriarchy that considers men more disposable than women? The same patriarchy that demands that men protect, provide for, and even sacrifice themselves for women? Some of you may be saying the following at this point. So what if men are programmed to protect women? For all we know, they may only be doing it to ensure survival of the human species. They may still hate women, but aren't willing to let that hatred prevent what needs to be done. For some men, that may very well be the case. However, it doesn't change the fact that there are plenty of men who respect and altruistically protect women, teach other men, especially their sons, to respect and altruistically protect women, praise other women for respecting and altruistically protecting women, and even bend over backwards to make women feel comfortable. All one needs to do is look at modern society to observe this in action. The same cannot be said of the author's claims, who were formed as a result of taking some extreme examples, largely from some of the most backwards of places, to come to invalid general conclusions. Even if men were not taught to respect or accommodate women, she still hasn't proven how men as a whole hate women. Men do not and have never hated women. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.